Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Exploring Marketing Research. Chapter number 14, Part 2, Attitude Scaling. After studying this part, you should be able to discuss the use of rating scales for measuring attitudes, represent a rating construct by constructing a summated scale, summarize ways to measure attitudes with ranking and sorting techniques, and randomized response questions. Discuss major issues involved in the selection of a measurement scale. As we know, attitude is an enduring disposition to consistently respond in a given matter. So attitude rating scales consist of simple attitude scales, category scales, method of summated rating, the Likert scale, semantic differential scale, numerical scale, staple scale, constant sum scale, graphic rating scale, Thurstone interval scale. I will explain all these scales one by one. Simple attitude scaling. In its most basic form, attitude scaling requires that an individual agree with a statement or respond to a single question. This type of self-rating scale merely classifies respondent into one of two categories. Simplified scaling example is given. For example, respondents in a political poll may be asked whether they agree or disagree with the statement. The president should run for re-election. The president should run for re-election. So this will divide the population into two categories. Definitely, some are going to agree and some are going to disagree. Category scales. A category scale is more sensitive measure than a scale having only two response categories. It provides more information. Questions working Questions working is an extremely important factor in the usefulness of these scales. For example, how often do you disagree with your response about how much to spend on vacation? So the answers can be never, rarely, sometimes, often, very often. Examples of category scale. How important were the following in your decision to visit San Diego? Check one of each item. For example, you have to check about the climate. Climate is very important or somewhat important or not too important. And then cost of travel, family oriented, educational, historical aspects, familiarity with the area, etc. So one has to answer about these factors on the scale of very important, somewhat important, not too important. Method of summated ratings, the Likert scale. Likert scale is an extremely popular means for measuring attitude. Respondents indicate their own attitudes by checking how strongly they agree or disagree with the statement. Response alternatives are strongly agree, agree, uncertain, disagree, and strongly disagree. Likert scale for measuring attitudes towards tennis. It is more fun to play a tough competitive tennis match than to play an easy one. So the respondent has to take one option: strongly agree, agree, not sure, disagree, or strongly agree. Likert scale for measuring attitudes toward tennis. Another question. There is really no such thing as a tennis stroke that cannot be measured, that cannot be mastered. So the respondent has to pick one option: strongly agree, agree, not sure, disagree, or strongly agree. Likert scale for measuring attitudes toward tennis. Here is another question. Playing tennis is a great way to exercise. So respondent has to take one option: strongly agree, agree, not sure, disagree, or strongly agree. Semantic differential. The semantic differential is actually a series of attitude scales. Bipolar adjectives such as good and bad, modern and old-fashioned, or clean and dirty anchor the beginning and the end of poles of the scale. The semantic differential technique originally was developed as a method for measuring the meanings of objects or the semantic space of interpersonal experience. Semantic differential. A weight is assigned to each position on the rating scale. Traditionally, scores are 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 are plus 3, plus 2, plus 1, 0, minus 1, minus 2, minus 3. Semantic differential scale for measuring attitude toward tennis. Exciting and calm, interesting, dull, simple, complex, passive, active. Numerical scale. Numerical scales have numbers as response options rather than semantic space or verbal description to identify categories response position. For example, if scale items have 5 response positions, the scale is called a 5-point numerical scale. A 6-point scale has 6 positions and a 7-point scale 7 positions and so on. Consider the following numerical scale. Now that you have had your automobile for about 1 year, please tell us how satisfied you are with your Ford Taurus. Extremely dissatisfied, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, extremely satisfied. So you can see that it ranges from extremely dissatisfied to extremely satisfied. It is 7 points. Staple skills. Modern versions of staple skills place a single objective is a substitute for the semantic differential when it is difficult to create pairs of bipolar adjectives. The advantage and disadvantages of a staple scale as well as the results are very similar to those of a semantic differential. However, the staple scale tends to be easier to conduct and administer. The staple scale for measuring a stored image. You can see that wide selection. It ranges from -3, -2, -1 towards +1, +2, +3. Constant sum scale. When a constant sum scale, with a constant sum scale, respondents are asked to divide a fixed number of points among several attributes to indicate their relative importance. Suppose United Parcel Service wishes to determine the importance of the attributes of accurate invoicing, delivery as promised, and price to recognition and price to organizations that use this service in business-to-business marketing. Respondent might be asked to divide a constant sum of 100 points to indicate the relative importance of those attributes. Divide 100 points among the following statistics of a delivery service according to how important each characteristic is to you when selecting a delivery company. Accurate invoicing, delivery as promised, and low price. Constant sum scale. This technique may be used for measuring brand preference. The approach, which is similar to pair comparison method, is as follows. Divide 100 points among the following brands according to your preference for each brand. Brand A, brand B, brand C. Graphic rating scales. A graphic rating scale presents respondents with a graphic continuum. The respondents are allowed to choose any point on the continuum to indicate their attitude. Graphic rating scales stressing pictorial visual communication. You can see that number 3 is very good, number 2 is neither good nor poor, and the 1 is very poor. Thurstone Interval Scale. In 1927, attitude research pioneer Louis Thurstone developed the concept that attitudes vary along continua and should be measured accordingly. The construction of a Thurstone scale is a fairly complex process that requires 2 stages. The first stage is a ranking operation performed by judges who assign scale values to attitudinal statements. The second stage consists of asking subjects to respond to the attitudinal statements. Thurstone Interval Scale. The Thurstone method is time-consuming and costly. From a historical perspective, it is valuable, but its current popularity is low. This method is rarely used in applied marketing research. Monadic rating scale. A monadic rating scale asks about a single concept. Now that you have had your automobile for about 1 year, please tell us how satisfied you are with its engine power and pickup. Completely satisfied, very satisfied, fairly well satisfied, somewhat dissatisfied, very dissatisfied. A comparative rating scale. A comparative rating scale asks respondents to rate a concept by comparing it with a benchmark. Please indicate how the amount of authority in your present position compares with the amount of authority that would be ideal for this position. Too much, about right, too little. An unbalanced scale. An unbalanced scale has more response distribution at one end of the scale. How satisfied are you with the bookstore in the student union? Satisfied, neither satisfied nor dissatisfied, quite dissatisfied. Measuring behavioral intention. The behavioral component of an attitude involves the behavioral expectation of an individual toward an attitudinal object. Typically, the component of interest to marketer is a buying intention, a tendency to seek additional information or plans to visit a showroom. Measuring behavioral intention. Category scales for measuring the behavioral components of an attitude ask about a respondent's likelihood of purchase or intention to perform some future action using questions such as the following. How likely is it that you will purchase an MP3 player? I definitely will buy, I probably will buy, I might buy, I probably will not buy, I definitely will not buy. Behavioral differential. The behavioral differential instrument has been developed for measuring the behavioral intention of subjects toward any object or category of objects. A description of the object to be judged is placed on the top of a sheet, and the subjects indicate their behavioral intention toward this object on a series of scales. For example, a 25-year-old woman sales representative would and would not ask this person for advice. Randomized response question. In special cases, such as when respondents are being asked to provide sensitive or embarrassing information in a survey, the researcher may use randomized response questions. Selecting a measurement scale, some practical decisions. Now that we have looked at a number of attitude measurement scales, a natural question arises: which is most appropriate? Is in the selection of a basic research design, there is no single best answer for all research projects. The answer to this question is relative, and the choice of scale will depend on the nature of attitudinal objects to be measured, the manager's problem definition, and the backward and forward linkages to choices already made. For example, telephone survey versus mail survey. Selecting a measurement scale, some practical decisions. However, several questions will help focus the choice of a measurement scale. Number one, is ranking, sorting, rating, or choice technique best? Should a monadic or a comparative scale be used? What type of category labels, if any, will be used for the rating scale? How many scale categories or response positions are needed to accurately measure an attitude? Should a balanced or unbalanced rating scale be chosen? Should a scale that forces a choice among predetermined options be used? Should a single measure or an index measure be used? So these questions will help you to select the measurement scale. Ranking. Consumers often rank order their preferences. An ordinal scale may be developed by asking respondents to rank order from most preferred to least preferred a set of objects or attributes. Respondents easily understand the task of rank ordering the importance of product attributes or arranging a set of brand names according to preference. Like the constant sum scale, technically the ranking scale also suffers from inflexibility in that if we know how some rank 5 out of 6 alternatives, we know the answer to the sixth. Paired comparison. In paired comparison, the respondents are presented with two objects at a time and asked to pick the one they prefer. Ranking objects with respect to one attribute is not difficult if only a few products are compared. But as the number of items increases, the number of comparison increases geometrically. If the number of comparison is too great, respondents may fatigue and no longer carefully discriminate among them. Sorting. Sorting task requires the respondents indicate their attitudes or beliefs by arranging items on the basis of perceived similarity or some other attribute. One advertising agency has had consumers sort photographs of people to measure their perceptions of a brand's typical user. Thank you. That's all for this.